we reported last week on a drag show for teens in in my hometown, which is Downers Grove, Illinois, and the the local library had set up something like a drag bingo event that we had discussed just how strange it is that this is considered
a good idea.
Well, it's considered like a big step in being like inclusionary. It's like this is important.
Inclusive, but
they kept making allusions to like being inclusive to our diverse community and this and that. But it's like, okay, it's one thing to have some sort of public stance that is accepting of the LGBTQ community, but it's a whole another thing to like
to force parents into a position
to use
where
tax money to pay for a drag show for kids.
Yeah,
it's just
it
odd.
doesn't make any sense.
I know we kind of went all over this,
but we were going to go to this thing. We were going to go to it fully to go play bingo with the drag queens and see how it played out. We had a few ideas actually
because, as you know, we would blend in perfectly.
And
with
also,
the
we're
teens.
avid bingo players.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up.
Now, Caden says we can't see it.
Damn it!
Because here's the thing: is that last time when we were rewatching the Shot in the Pocket, I didn't flick back over to the scene, and so she says we can't see it, and then Andrea says, "How do we fire Tom?"
Yeah. Good luck figuring that one out. If I had the answer to that, this would be a whole different show.
It would.
I'd be selling my suicide pills.
God.
Like I was trying to sell. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get the. But so, anyways, to me, it was just a weird thing to. A lot of people will make the case that like drag isn't necessarily like a sexual thing, but I think it is traditionally like pretty raunchy and adult entertainment, and I think a lot of it, it doesn't have to be that the people watching it are somehow like sexually aroused by the performance.
It doesn't have to be.
But it is traditionally something that is more for adults, and it's just an odd to me it's
an odd insistence, an obsession.
And it's also like, to call it some kind of olive branch or whatever you want to call it to the LGBTQ community is weird. To me, there would just be so many other more meaningful, legitimate ways to do that.
Like, what if you just had gay business leaders come in and talk?
How
and
about
be like,
that?
oh, hey, I'm gay.
And the kids can
and it's fine. And, my life is good. And yours can be too. If you're gay, don't feel marginalized. You're going to be fine. How about something like that? But instead, there's this weird insistence on like making it a some sort of a spectacle that nobody can deny. They make it into this argument or something. They set it up as almost like you gonna say something, you know what I mean? And it's like that doesn't seem helpful to me. It seems
well, and also it's just like
the antithesis.
It's just a niche form of entertainment. It's not representative of any
I'm not
sort
into
of,
it.
but it's not representative of any sort of like part of the LGBTQ struggle or like
it's usually
it's just a niche genre of stage performance, and I don't really get it, but whatever. People seem to like it sometimes. Whatever. But again, I don't get the compulsion to provide it to underage kids. Seems weird. So this is the statement from the library after they canceled it. They said, to all of the teens who registered for our event and community members in support of this event, we are sorry drag queen bingo cannot happen at this time. We are determined to find additional ways to support you and your friends in safe, fun, and inclusive representation throughout the library. As though before this, they were like turning gay people away at the door.
Yeah, the library was not inclusive to gay people, apparently.
I mean...
Which, if that's the case, then I am against this library.
Yeah.
If they were turning gay people away before this,
right? Did you just catch on that you should be letting these people into the library?
Yeah,
I know this is another like people just make these statements and it's like, what does that mean? Fun and inclusive representation throughout the library. What? How? What do you mean? Hate did not win today. We stand by the event and Aurora Divine. We tried our best to make drag queen bingo happen. Okay, just this to me speaks to the this is a public library, publicly funded.
Yeah.
We tried our best to make Drag Queen Bingo happen. However, due to the severity of the threats made against the library, we have been forced to cancel the event.
Now, my
It is
guess
our-
is this. My guess is the threat was, hey, we're going to pull some funding if you guys don't fucking quit it.
That could be, yeah.
That was probably the threat. It probably wasn't any kind of actual.
We got a nice little town here.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, hey, quit fucking putting us on the map for dumb shit.
And that's all it was. It's like just a performative theatrical, like we were talking about, a South Park
It's a
episode
fucking
in
episode of
itself
South Park.
of just like, hey, we've seen this in other towns. Like, let's do one.
Yeah.
let's
get
have
some
our, and they
attention.
know it's gonna be a
Of
circus
course,
and an
they
argument.
know that.
So
That's why they didn't just do what I said. Have like gay businessmen and women come in and talk to children about
Like-
how their life could be. Very normal. They'll be
Yeah.
successful. It's fine. You'll find your path. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if you're
they
con-
didn't have that. They wanted guys. Be one.
yeah, let me tell some kind of cornball, stupid fucking jokes and puns and
that's
and,
what. They wanted that.
and be some fucking strange 75 years ago in form of entertainment for
Yeah.
no reason. But here, the last thing they said is, it is
Go.
our responsibility to keep you safe. What?
No, it isn't.
This is the library.
You're the library.
It is our responsibility to keep you. No, it is your responsibility
To provide books.
To offer us
That's
books.
it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. And
That's
and-
all you have to do, library.
we
That's
are,
all you have to do.
We are disappointed and saddened by some of the vitriolic feedback that we received for what was meant to be an evening of fun and celebration of self-identity. No, it's not. This is the
That's
thing
not
that
what
I
it
don't
was.
understand. It's a fucking character that somebody does.
Yeah.
It's not. That's
That's not themselves.
it gets intertwined with like
Yeah, conflated, if you will.
yeah, conflated with, other forms of like sexual identity and stuff. This is acting.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
It would
Not
be
saying that they're not probably gay, but
this would be okay, but this would be akin to having a bunch of strippers come to just make sure that straight kids are okay. But strippers aren't really the representative of all straight people, right?
sure.
So
yeah,
drag
okay.
queens aren't really the representative of all gay people. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's all. This is the dangers of identity politics.
Yeah.
Again, is things become convoluted and nonsensical. So yes, the celebration of self-identity and self-expression. Self-expression, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Fine, do
actually
it.
makes sense.
Sure.
At least that they said that. but you know
That's
what I mean?
true. Yeah.
The just the overblown kind of way that they think of it. It's like, and also like, what a douchebag are you to think that like hosting an event like that makes you some kind of like champion and pioneer
That's what
of
it is.
gay
It's
rights or something?
everybody
Like,
needs to
Jesus
get in on the
Christ,
virtue
dude.
signaling.
Yeah. You're not important. It's not brave anymore.
No.
Like I've said before, and I know this might be a thing I just said recently, but like when the Dead Kennedys were touring in the American South in 1982, championing socially liberal ideas.
Sure.
That was
brave.
fucking brave.
That was brave.
There are such things as brave people in these areas with these ideas.
Providing social commentary in a fucking in an arena that's not really used to it,
And
at the
also,
time, at all,
and
or
using that
friendly to
specific
it.
example, they were putting themselves in physical danger by doing that. At a time
sure.
where you could be beaten mercilessly for some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
In some of those places, and the average person that now has seen things like that and whatever other examples when it was brave, and they don't have anything creative in their minds
Well,
that they
also
can
they
actually
know
look
it's safe.
around and be brave about now.
They
It's
wouldn't
the
be.
safest.
They wouldn't do it if it's dangerous.
Well, and they're
Are you kidding me?
So
the Downers
this-
Grove fucking library is going to do some actual dangerous. No,
This may actually have.
Come on.
This may be, but the point is, like, in general, any kind of like pro gay stance and whatever that people are having, it's not brave. It's the environment is absolutely accepting of it and has been for many years.
Yes.
And like when your
Yes.
when your ideals are the same thing as Bank of America and Target and
Yeah.
fucking Coca-Cola, you're not a revolutionary.
Yeah, it's gone. The braveness has gone by the wayside.
It's not brave.
and now it's mainstream.
And now you just
And that's fine.
And now you just folded to a bunch of lame Christians.
And
that
also,
fucking,
it's good that it's good that it's mainstream because people should be able to do whatever the
Except for drag bingo.
Except for that. All right. Hey, you are on with Tom and Vinny. What's up?
Howdy.
Howdy.
I'd once again like to stick up for the librarians mostly because of their stance on other things, as I brought up before, the Tor servers and that network nodes they're running.
They stood up against the Patriot Act.
To take them down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that was incredibly unpopular with a bunch of other people because as we all know, all the dark web is sex trafficking and stuff. Only bad things.
Yeah, you're not going on the dark web to buy fucking doilies.
No, but not sorry to break the fourth wall, but the main problem is you're not paying taxes on the dark web. Sorry, Stizzy, I was just saying the main problem is you're not paying taxes on the dark web. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that too, but there are countries where they outlaw the internet, and you can only
for sure have a Tor
get away with a good encryption level.
Yeah, I suppose if you're in some kind of communist dictatorship, it might be the only way of getting real information or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or just passing normal everyday information along without getting the hit squad on you.
Sure.
Okay.
Your 100%. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And
So I'm just kind of stating my trying to build a case for my thoughts about this. I wouldn't take my kids there. I don't know how I'd feel if my kids were down the street in the high school and like, yeah, we got tickets, we're doing it. Like, why?
Yeah,
it's weird. But
because it's trendy.
A question where I don't like that they're doing this. You have to go back and kind of look at what they've done throughout time. So I'm going to give them leeway for really annoying things that I think everybody else but me agrees with. And I was like, yeah, fucking go get them. So they're out there on a line. I think it's really a publicity thing, and we're going to do it. We're going to set precedent. Other libraries are going to join us.
Yeah, I think it's more self-aggrandizing to me. It just seems like everyone has to. I don't. That's the problem. That's one of the bigger problems that I have.
Like a very empty gesture, right?
Yeah. Well, not even empty. It seems
tacky.
Contrived
it's
and self-promoting. That's my problem with a lot of this shit. Is that, like Vinny was saying, at one point, a lot of this was very brave. It was new, territory. It held real repercussions and real consequences. At this point, when you're doing things like this, it's for show. You're trying to garner some sort of social, credit. You're trying to,
what are
posture.
you trying to? And,
I don't know.
And also, what are you trying to change? What do you?
There's nothing.
What are you unhappy with? The entire world is already accepting of all this shit, except for
very small minority of people.
And even the people that aren't are for the most part like, hey, do what you want, do what you want, but don't use public funding for it. I think that's probably the widest cross section of that argument.
Most people, if they were asked, should adults be able to do whatever they want sexually? I mean, there are some real fundamentalist Christian types that'll be like, no,
people
but that's not a lot. You look at the numbers; that's very few people. Now, do they have a disproportionate hold on the right wing parties or party in this country? Yeah, they do. And I don't like that.
I don't know anymore, do they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Christian conservatives and evangelicals.
Maybe.
Yeah. They definitely... They hold a sway.
People into primaries, and then they get their candidate elected.
Well, they're good at raising money, too.
They do have a disproportionate sway in American politics on the right, which I don't like that either. We tend to, or at least I tend to criticize and critique the left more in this country right now. I just see them going away from where they need to be, and it's a very, very important place to be, and we're losing that. And so what happens when we do that is then the right gets not emboldened. I hate to use that fucking word because that's been bastardized by the media at this point, but it really does make them look like the logical, fair, you know what I mean? Party.
I get all that. I agree with pretty much all of your points about the library issue.
Thank you.
I have no contention with that. I would. Well, Vinny's points too.
Damn it!
I would just say that I'm giving these guys leeway. As they're one of you put them on like a left wing propaganda unit, but I think it's a bunch of librarians in every fucking city that all kind of band together for free speech
Do you think that? Maybe.
And it's so grassroots.
I don't
They're all
think
just a bunch
so.
of. There's
I
no
think that-
big librarian lobby.
That
You know,
was.
it's
No, there
just a
isn't a
bunch
big
of
librarian lobby. But,
Librarians who kind of get into the field and kind of come like information's cool.
so let me ask you
Fuck
this:
it, you know?
Would you if
I'm
if
just
you were
saying, give them a little leeway because
Okay,
of
fine,
their precedence of being pretty good.
But let me
I'm
ask you this.
still leaning both way crazy.
If you were to guess what direction most people that go into the field of librarianism
So
lean
Yeah.
politically, which would you say?
Yeah.
Are they right wing?
They're obviously left.
They're
I
left.
mean,
And where the left has
you got
moved-
their academia types
Yes.
and all that, and
But at this
that's how
point,
they
this
get
is
there.
this was
Yeah.
teachers at one point too, which is fine. I actually agree. I think they should be because the left wing of the political spectrum in this country seems to be not seems to be. They have the personality traits. Usually
Of a drunk girlfriend.
openness, trait openness, things like that. Where I think you need that to teach. I think you need that is
Yeah,
one of a
I
very
agree.
important part of being a teacher. Now we've moved
And
the
left
goalposts
doesn't have
so
that
far.
mentality to accept other people's ideas.
Exactly.
I get it.
Conservatism is kind of a
I completely
closed
get it.
off, but now it's
But
moved to where everyone has to have blue hair and call themselves a pansexual. That is where you start getting into this kind of quagmire, where
yeah.
it's like, okay,
I get it.
now
I
the
get it.
people that are
But these
working there are
librarians aren't
not
pushing-
What's that? Sorry,
The librarians aren't trying to push that point. It's just I think.
but are
So,
they or not? I don't know. I don't know that.
I'm probably looking more like back into history nostalgically,
Sure.
which is probably stupid. But like how the ACLU used to be really
Used to be.
liberal, like we're going to defend
Yes.
Nazis marching.
Yes, and now
And
they're
that's when,
illiberal.
you got taught that
It's
in
insane.
school when we were kids, like how. This is America. This is what we stand for. Everybody knows this is wrong, but you have the right to say it.
Yes, and now so you bring up a huge point right there. This is a good parallel
Well, that's
to me.
the way I'm looking at. They're going to push this.
Yes, but do
as-
you
as
think that
saying-
the
and I get
ACLU
it.
is
I get
where
it
they
in-
should be? Not
They're
right
terrible
now.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's my point.
Yeah.
So maybe librarians, teachers. This is what my problem is with the left. Is it's all moved, and you can't go against the grain, or it's become religious to the point where if you blaspheme
Yeah.
or you are out. It's apostate.
May I say something? So, one thing that occurred to me while you guys were talking was a lot of the things in my mind that were heroic aspects of that librarians did as a what do you call them? Did they have a union or I don't know what they have?
A collective.
Yeah, what that they pulled off as a collective.
They're online.
A lot of the stuff that
Sure.
I think of was like Patriot Act oriented and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
I
that
was big-
That
a big
was
fan.
that was when the ruling regime was classically conservative, Republican, and Christian.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it may have
I agree.
It may
Yes.
have been that they were only standing up. They were perceived as standing up for ideals I agree in, but they were only doing it because their political opposition was in power. I don't know. I'm
Could
just
be, but maybe.
suggesting. I'm just suggesting that.
It'd be hard
I
to
agree with
prove.
that too, and but now you're kind of leading to maybe now that the tides are swinging their way, they're trying to push their stuff more.
Well, that maybe they're not
But
ideologically consistent. I guess. Is
But
my
also,
suggestion, sir.
the people that shut them down were trying to shut down free speech. And having
Okay.
that event there is free speech.
Okay.
And so everybody
Okay.
said,
Now
like,
that's
you
a different
can't
angle.
do that there. No.
Yeah. That's
it's,
a different
it's the same
angle.
people in Skokie saying you can't have your Nazi parade on public streets.
I don't know if you be. I see when it comes to the issue of public
and
funding
once again,
is where
I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
I like it's tacky as shit. Like your self promotion
Yeah.
line of what they're doing is spot on. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
But
there's a certain lens that it shines through, and it's like, okay, I get it. But no, you bring up an interesting point, though. I suppose now where Vinny's saying is it's publicly funded.
that's
I guess
where the
that would
issue
be where the issue
because
comes
like
in.
and again, is this the biggest?
I thought
is
they
this
had
my,
the big Dale Carnegie Fund still. Wasn't that
Maybe.
the story?
The
Rich man gives us books.
Yeah, it's the Rockefeller Drag Queen Fund. That's what they dipped into.
Yeah, the Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just a shell
Which
corporation.
we need a piece of.
What?
We need a piece of that.
That
The Rockefeller Drag Queen Fund.
what? You're not getting your cut?
What the fuck?
I'll talk to somebody. But no. Yeah. So what the fuck was I saying?
Oh, Jesus.
That just the issue of it being publicly funded, and then again, that it's the drag queen show is not really even on the radar of issues. It's just interesting to talk about. It's not the biggest fucking waste of money or the worst thing government does, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's,
your point, though,
philosophically, that's the only reason I had a problem with it. That's
yeah,
it,
your
you know?
point though of it being a free speech type of thing, that is kind of because it's publicly funded. Because a lot of people say, yes, free speech is protection against the government
But you
controlling
just
speech.
free
but
speech
not,
doesn't mean that
but
you
not
have
private enterprise.
But it doesn't mean that you have a right to collective promotion of your speech either. So it's like
It means the government can't restrict it.
Yes.
The government.
So this
them
is
not
okay.
them not giving you
Public sense of the
them not
state
giving you tax
can't
dollars to
restrict.
do your fucking routine is not restriction of speech. You know.
Yeah,
and then it
this
becomes
is a lot more
political where they
complicated
defund
than-
agencies and, Obama, he's trying to fund Sesame Street. Oh, fuck.
All right,
You know,
now,
trying to fund Wall
Stizzy.
Street. And it goes back to all that shit. That's how public money works.
Right.
Can we all
I'm just saying,
agree to?
I'm cutting him a little
No, okay.
slack, and I agree with it's tacky as fuck. I'm not taking my kids there. It's not my
it's
thing.
not my thing. Whatever.
But
it's been
obviously
canceled
they only
anyways.
did it to
Now I'm pissed.
stir the pot.
yeah, I think
what-
now
that's all
even
they
though
did.
That's
none of
all
us-
it is, dude. It's an enactment. It's a ritual fucking
Yeah.
enactment.
It's a
of,
call
of
to
what
arms.
they've seen.
It's
and
a
they
call
just,
to arms.
They just want to do their South Park episode. That's it.
and they're looking to provoke a response, and they know the response they're going to get, and so
Yeah.
then once they get it, then they can further this sort of narrative of like, see, everyone is,
I agree.
So that's where I don't like it. But now,
But
okay,
I'm saying they've
Yes.
done a lot of good things in the past.
Sure, they
and,
have. I agree,
You
100%.
can't get your fervor up of they're that
We're
team
not.
now.
We're not
and
trying
we
to get
have
the
shut
library
them
shut down. No.
yeah, no. Look, for the
I'm just
record,
asking for a little bit of
I love
perspective
librarians.
and leeway on these very grassroots group of people. There's no federal librarian union.
Isn't
They're just
I don't know.
I thought there was
they're
some kind of
big towns,
accreditation
small
thing.
towns,
Or,
people work in books and information, and they want to give it to the public, and they're
And that is a great look. That is a great
free-minded,
service. Yes.
free speech. Stand up strong.
You know
kind of
what?
People. So
Yeah.
I'm not against the library, Tom. I'm going to hand you this card I just took out of my wallet. What does that say on there? And if you look at the top right,
Well,
no,
that
no,
doesn't say
the other
anything.
side, yeah. What does that say right there?
That says Downers Grove Public Library.
Right? And is that my signature, sir?
That is not.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, yeah, that is.
So okay, look, I'm not a library. I'm not a library exclusionist.
You really,
it sounds like you're a card-carrying member.
He really is. I think he was pushing for this thing the whole time just to have it on the show. To be honest,
I'm basically
I think he's using this.
I'm basically a library brown shirt at this point. I'm like fully.
Well, thank you for just straw manning, so I could shut you down and
Yeah, make
the
yourself look
librarians
really good.
rise up.